Citizen Television.
Greetings and welcome to the Planetary Persuader. I am your host, Cosmic Kev, and today we are beginning with the 18th of September 2015, going all the way till the 25th. So what happens this week? Well, the exciting news, folks, it is the autumnal equinox this week. It happens at 1:21 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on the 23rd. So, we move from a place where we're focused on analysis and the last long days of summer that are now they're only like 12 hours of light, and we're going into this place where we know it's going to get darker and darker and darker. But, you know, we've had a lot of light and we need that rest. And autumn signifies harvest and a lot of other wonderful things that happen. So we're looking forward to that. When we go into Libra, the sign of Libra, we are looking at harmony. We are looking at balance. We are looking at a way to engage with other people where they're as important with us. And you know, I would say, even though it's a little different, I'd have to agree with the Vedic philosophy that, you know, Leo through Scorpio, though all those signs are dealing with the human works of procreation and making money and making art and all these wonderful things. You know, we're trying to sustain life here. So sign by sign we're going for it, beginning with you, Aries. Here you are on. So greetings, Aries. Welcome your horoscope. Now, the beautiful thing about this week is this is probably the last full-on week of Mars in Leo. Mars goes into Virgo on Thursday the 24th at 7:18 p.m. So Mars going out of Leo into Virgo. What can we say about that? Well, you know, in Leo, we are concerned with bold strokes. And when we go into Virgo, we're concerned with precision. You know, it's I can remember being at a little festival where they had a dunk tank and it was in Virgo time, and I just threw the first ball and it got the guy in there, and I said, oh, you got more balls. I couldn't do it after that. And so I was thinking to myself, that was a real Virgo precision throw, you know. So I think that's a good way of illustrating the change. And so since we've had this Virgo transit, the 6th house transit for Aries, it's been like, well, I'm trying to perfect my life. I'm trying to be a better worker. And you'll probably have more initiative. You know, if you're working for yourself, this is going to be an awesome time for you because you've got a lot of initiative. Plus, it's a good time to get physically in shape. Here in the West Coast, you know, the heat has died down a little bit from what it was this summer. And so we're just grateful for that. And we're able to exercise a little bit more with a little more gusto without just smelling like yesterday's laundry. And you know, Mercury is still retrograde in your 7th house, so if communication issues are kind of coming up with you and your loved one, don't sweat it. Blame it on Mercury retrograde. Everyone else does. It wasn't my fault. It was Mercury retrograde. I'm just amazed at how universal it's become. You know, maybe this is just in Northern California. I'm not really sure, but yeah. I'm sure it's in Portland. I know it's in Ashland, so, you know. I mean, as one person joked to me and says, you know what, Ashland's more like California and Chico's actually more like Oregon. Maybe not so much weather-wise, but culturally. And I was like, yeah, I kind of get you. I know what you're saying there. You know, it's like Ashland's got a little that Marin County kind of feel to it. My God, it gets worse when it feels like the peninsula, though. You know what I'm talking about. All those people with the tights and the nicest dreads, you know, it's like, love me, I am beautiful. You know. And Taurus, that's what you like think of yourself, you know. Greetings, Taurus, here's your horoscope. You know, you like to be beautiful. Venus is still in Leo, and that's your 4th house. So, you know, you're beautiful on the inside. And I mean, isn't that all that really counts? In the long run, that is what counts. We know that. And, you know, Venus is moving direct, so she's on her way. You know, she's going to have another conjunction with Mars at the beginning of November. So look forward to that. It's going to be another dynamic, romantic going, you know. And, but, you know, so Mars moving into Virgo is actually going to give you more energy to do creative work. It's going to give you more energy to be in your heart. Now, the Sun moving out of Virgo into Libra this week from your 5th house to the 6th house, we go from creativity to service. And it's like, you want to make some good karma, serve somebody. You want to get yourself in physical shape, Libra time is the best time for a Taurus to do it. You know, it's a gymnasium. That's one of the things I call it. So just being motivated to do it. And like exercising with other people is a really good idea because everybody motivates each other. And together everyone achieves more. That's the word team, right? That's the initials. So that's the way I would be thinking right now. This weekend? You know, I mean, I would just kind of lay low. I wouldn't, you know, give it too much power. I think like Monday and Tuesday, your energy is going to be really cranking. You're going to be feeling great. You know, later on in the week, you're going to get another boost of power. But I think what's happening is your creativity is percolating, and also your need to go out in the world and really be a part of it. Well, hello Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. So, my lovely Gemini, what can I do for you today? The Sun's been in the 4th house. Sometimes the 4th house can be like the cocoon, like you got cabin fever. I mean, I don't know if you're watching this on a YouTube, maybe in like, you know, southern Florida or a place that has really rainy Septembers. Most places are pretty dry in the country in September. You know, it's not the super wet time. You know, and Virgo is kind of like air and earth, so it's sort of like the dust sign of the zodiac. So we've been through all this dust. We're still there. Certainly in the Vedic sense, we're going to be there even longer. But in our sidereal astrology, but in Western astrology, we say, okay, we're welcoming the equinox, the autumnal equinox, and this puts the Sun in our 5th house as Geminis. And so what we want now is to celebrate love and look for the balance. You know, we Geminis, we all want our soulmate already. You know, we're looking for that soulmate. And Libra makes that interesting balance. They initiate, you know, really nice dates and stuff. And they like sweet things and luxuries and things that probably wouldn't hurt. It might be a good idea to go along with this just for a little while. I mean, yeah, I know they can't make up their own mind, and you know, and I'm known as being two-faced, but you know, this is the way. It's the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. That's what Gemini Bob Dylan said. So we're just gonna run with that. Okay, we are. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna be more creative, and we're gonna run with that. And you know, it might even be a romantic weekend for us. I hear that with the moon in the 7th house. Okay, hello Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, so, you know, we're really working on our personalities and our personal style when you have a transit in the 3rd house. There's a lot of personal style, and it's your environment, it's your brothers and sisters, your siblings, your peers, your cousins, your neighbors. And when we get into Libra, we're working more on our tribe. So we're starting out the weekend, moon in Sagittarius, so you're going to be working this weekend. You know, maybe doing charitable work, helping restore nature, cleaning up the creek or something. That sounds great. I think there is a creek cleanup coming up. Okay. And there might, it looks like, Saturday looks like kind of a rougher day, but we get into Sunday, things just seem to flow a lot better, and you're able to make some real progress. And I would say Monday and Tuesday will be your day to be, in love and feeling relationship orientation. Mars going into Virgo, I would say check your vehicle out. Make sure it's running smoothly. You're going to need to check that, and mobility is going to become much more important in the coming weeks. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, okay, so, Virgo time is all about values, about family, it's about making money, and, and it's about taking care of sensual needs, taking care of your teeth, your neck, your voice, and counting your change, and, things are good. Money's coming in, you're doing better. What can I say? When things are hard, things are hard. There's not really a lot you can do about it. But you got to be thankful for what you got, because that always, when you think about what you're grateful for, it just changes your focus, and you start feeling happy again. And so, that song, When the Dog Bites, When the Bird Sings, I simply remember my favorite things. No, it's good. That's good stuff. No, I know I don't do it as good as The Woman in the Sound of Music, but or whatever that movie was. But yeah, it's good. And those nuns were awesome. That's why people dress up like nuns. It's because of them. So Leo, okay, so you're losing Mars. You're losing Mars to money. It's like you got to get the right tool for the right job. Okay. We go from this whole thing of family, values, money, to who your friends are, who your neighbors are, what's your environment like. Have you taken local trips? Have you checked out, in Northern California, Southern Oregon? There's some places where there's some nice fall foliage already starting to kick in, and you might want to take a little drive and just appreciate the onset of fall, and appreciate your friends, set up lines of communication, even though it's Mercury retrograde. Hello, Virgo. Well, welcome to the last Virgo weekend. And I would say for you California Virgos, this is a very California weekend because it's got Sagittarius moon and it's still Virgo time. And that's sort of like the integrated culture of Virgo. So, we got this Mercury retrograde thing going on in the second house. So what I would say is that money issues are kind of held up right now. You're sort of waiting. You're waiting for your ship to come in, or you're waiting for a little more resource, a little more money, a little more gold. You got yourself out on a limb a little further than you wanted to. Okay, that's all. Anybody can do that. All right. Okay. So, but at the same time, you have a lot of magic is happening. There's like a miracle all around you every single day because of this Jupiter and Virgo thing. So I want you to be very positive thought, miracle conscious, Virgo. That means finding out what's right in the world instead of finding out so much what's wrong with it. Bring on the light. Bring on the good stuff. Bring on your talents and the good things you can do. That's the best we can do. If we want to build up hope in the world, we have to change our attitude, and we got to bring our stuff. We got to bring out what we do right, and that's going to make everything so much better. And I would say, Virgo, seek spiritual relationships with Neptune and Chiron. Realize that you're in relationship for healing and to learn. And I think if you keep that in mind, everything's going to go fine. Uranus is in the 8th house. There's a lot of bizarre stuff that's just out of your control. And, here's the good news. You get Mars in the 1st house. So if you feel like you've been unmotivated, well, now's your chance to kick some serious ass. And I can feel it coming on already. I'm weeks ahead of this, but I know like Pluto. Think of any of you who were born in, say, the late 50s through the mid 60s. Like, you people are going to have Mars go over your Plutos and your Uranus, and it's just like there's a motivation time, and it's going to give you strength, it's going to give you energy, and so you older middle-aged people that might be watching this, I know you're old people. Now, take advantage of that, because I mean, this is your time to shine. I mean, you got that Neptune in Scorpio, it's Neptune in Pisces. There's this integrated thing. It's like, we need the magic now. You got to bring on the magic. You got to bring on the faith. You got to bring on the stuff that's beyond the mundane and the everyday, and and let the naysayers just feel smug with their egos of how smart they are. Let them have it. Let the muggles have it. That's what I say. You enjoy being a muggle. It makes you more secure, groovy. We all got friends like that. It's like the new atheist. Somebody was telling me about it. It's like, well, they've never caused any war. I'm like, please stop. You stop this nonsense. We're dealing with humans here. Humans, no matter what their non-belief or belief is, are all the same ball of worms. Yeah. Hello, Libra. You know this to be true, Libra. You're like, yeah, you're so right. Okay, North Node, last little wink. The first house. What are you hungry for? Did you get what you needed in the last year and a half? This is a big question. And you're breaking into new territory, because you're going to wake up on Wednesday morning. Not only are you going to tune into my radio show, but you're also going to find out that everything is great, and that you're the flavor of the month, and that it's going to be like that from here on out. People concerned with justice, harmony, flirtation, and eating sweet things and things that affect our kidneys, like beer and coffee. Yeah, okay. So that's all fun stuff. We want that. Venus is going direct, still in Leo, getting more direct. Mars, though, in the 12th house. So, I mean, I don't know how you did it, but, somebody's not super happy with you. It could be jealousy. It could be everything. I know you always think you're so nice. Stop that. Being nice isn't always really even nice. Sometimes it's disingenuous, and so we have to be, we got to get into our deep spiritual side. That's what I said last week to Libra. It's like, this is, we kind of have to hold back and say, all right. Now, I do know some very deep spiritual Libra people. They're not all just superficial and, will sacrifice sweetness, because there's a point where you're going to do an injustice to yourself, and then you really don't get what you want, and you're so motivated. They call you the iron fist and the velvet glove. They're very good. I'll do this for you if you do this for me. That's a Libra technique. Learn it, analyze it, know it. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay. So this is kind of like the last big party weekend, a Virgo time for you, and then it goes into Libra time. And that's kind of like a time for you to more like investigate your spiritual life, your karma, and sort of a lay low time. Yeah, that would be it. I mean, if you're watching this early on Friday, if it gets out before 8:30 or something, yeah, Moon's still in Scorpio. But, for the most part, this weekend, Sagittarius Moon. You'd be working on economic projects, ways of making more money this weekend. That would be smart. Creative-wise, you've got a vision, but you want the creative arts to be a thing that motivates other people to feel healed and have a good feeling right now. That's part of it. Mars moving into your 11th house, though. You're motivated to hang out with friends and play sports. So that's kind of a cool thing right there. And you're working on your karma right now, and you're working on perfecting and completing, some karma in your life, and that's okay. That's a good thing to do. And there are good friends all around you, so take heart and move forward. Well, hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. All right, so you got Saturn in the first house. Saturn in Sagittarius. I've talked about this before. Sun conjoined Saturn is like, you're reminded you have to be careful where you walk. I work with somebody who's got a Saturn-ruled sun. And I guess in Western astrology you'd say my sun would be ruled by Mars and Pluto. But Saturn, is the stop sign. Am I right? Mars wants to go, Pluto does too. And Pluto really, now we know that Pluto's not only, about the sexual passion, but it's about love. It's got a heart on it. So it's like, having that heart there, it really it shows that we're people of vulnerability, and that's one of the things we discover. So Sagittarius, what I would say is move forward, because Saturn and Sag, a lot of times people are persecuted because they believe in freedom and justice. Martin Luther King Jr. had Saturn and Sagittarius. I know he was a Capricorn, but Saturn and Sagittarius was Che Guevara, revolutionary from Argentina to through Chile, Bolivia, eventually Cuba, and Saturn in Sagittarius teaches us to look at the other side of things, that freedom is a good thing to look for. Noam Chomsky, Saturn in Sagittarius. Transform the way you look at money, transform the way you look at limits. It's still an opportune year. Libra time, we move to your social life more. And so, you're a party animal. You're going to get out there. You're going to be partying with the best of them. Well, greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. Let's talk Capricorn talk. Okay, so Saturn's in Sagittarius. This is your 12th house. So, think about, now, if you're a middle-aged, if you're a 40-something or older Capricorn, you can think back to 29 years ago, where you were at then, and where you're at now. And there's some similarity with the challenges you face, or maybe not at all, but they're challenges nonetheless. There were challenges then, there are challenges now. Okay. Saturn brings on the challenges. But you want to do the right thing. You want to make good karma. That's the real point right now. Since we're moving from your 9th house, where you were learning stuff, to the 10th house, where you're performing now, you're in the public eye. So you got to bring out your best talents and skills. You got to dazzle them. You've got to bring it. You're responsible now to elevate your act. And we're heading towards that second half of Pluto in Capricorn. And so we're learning something about usefulness and what's not useful, and how we can take things that we never knew we had, be more resourceful, and bring it. And so that's my wish and will for you, is that you bring good things to the table. And your love life's in some kind of weird transformation. I don't know anything about it, but work with it. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay. So, this is a time for you to build up your ability to take risks. You've gone through a lot of transformation in the past several weeks. And this weekend's going to be a good party weekend for you. You're going to feel good. You're going to have good people around you. It feels really good. But as we go further and further into the week, actually, Moon is going to be in Aquarius on Wednesday morning, right when the Sun goes into Libra. So it's kind of like air on air, and the Moon and Sun trine each other at 11:34. So it starts out really nice and positive and kind of lighthearted. And so there's a sort of spirit of cooperation of groups. And we want to bring justice. And, I hear that there seems to be some kind of debate in the Democratic Party about, who should be leading the country and be POTUS and all that stuff. And I have to admit, if you're basing it on who's related to the Queen and who is going to be more willing to sell out for Monsanto and other corporate douchebags, then that's shame on you. Shame on you, and shame on your lack of commitment to elevating the people of this country. I just find that despicable. And in some ways, I've heard it said that, that this one particular person, sometimes referred to as a witch of Wall Street or the matriarch of Monsanto, you got to be really careful. We have a horrible history of playing second best, and it seems like there's this really cool Jewish civil rights activist. It's like packing out auditoriums everywhere, and it's calling the corporate welfare on its BS. We need to support this guy, That's it. You know, we need to be lion-hearted and back them up. Because this is no time for hanky-panky with privileged punks running the country anymore. It's not working for us. You know, it's not working for the common person. It's not working at ground level. And ultimately, even for most of the rich people, it's not going to work for them as well either. So, I say happy, and Aquarius, I just call on you because you're radical enough to put the man to task. As we're in justice time, you know, you're going to be getting into your heart, you know, and your heart chakra for Aquarius is you got to move forward with this stuff. Now with Venus and Mars and Leo, you're going to make good relationships. You're going to have this dynamic appeal. And with Jupiter transiting your 8th house, you're going to have other people help you. So I think it's time to run with this. And it's time not to give up. And it's time not to settle for second best. Because, you know, that's the way it's always been done. You know what? How it's always been done is because Hurricane Katrina, the war in Iraq, 9/11, that's because of all that, it's always been done that way kind of mentality. So stop that. Stop all that crap, you know. It's time to think positive, and it's time to support people that are trying to do something good, instead of those who just want to, you know, pretend and nod and wink while they, you know, give special service to the evils of our society. Anyhow, greetings Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. I know I had an Aquarius soapbox there. It was time. Uranus agreed. Let's see what we got here. We have Neptune, visionary, and that's what you need to be. You've got Chiron there too, which is the wounded healer. So in spite of whatever's been hurting you, you can elevate and uplift others. Now, Virgo time, you've been reaching this place of harmony and balance and mutuality. But we're about to go into Libra time, which is the 8th house transit, and it's a more difficult transit because it can kill you sometimes. Usually doesn't, though. So that's a good part, you know. We go through it every year. How many years you live? You see, you've been lucky. You've been successful every year. It could be also inheritance too in that transit. But we begin, you know, with the moon in your 12th house when the solstice happens, and then the as well as the sun being in your 8th house. So I think of it as like, this is a mystical time you're entering into. It's a time of psychic sensitivity. And you need to honor that in yourself. And be okay with that. And this is still a week where you're going to be able to help other people a lot. And you're still making good relationships. You still have good support. I think this weekend you're going to be more in the public eye. Show off some of your best talents and skills. I think next weekend the moon is going to be in Pisces, so you know we'll have a really fun discussion next weekend. Not only the moon will be in Pisces, and it's going to go into Aries and be a harvest moon, but it's also a lunar eclipse, and it's going to be whoa! But until then, love, more joy, more good times. We'll see you again next episode of the Planetary Persuader.